Today I will show you one way to digitize photographs from traditional old school film. There are two main ways. One technique is to use digital scanner. The technique that I will show you is a little more complicated, but in my opinion gives better results. But let's go more into the details. Place your light source flat facing upwards and try to make it as leveled as possible. In this case, I used one of my video lights and I used a couple of my workout weights to make it stand flat and level. Make sure the surface of your light is clean with no dust or any dots and smudges. You will need to do the same to the film and your lens. Now put your tripod right above the light, mount the camera, and face the lens downwards towards the light. You should be able to aim somewhere in the center of the surface of your light, where the negatives will be placed. It's very important to make sure that your light is leveled and the camera is looking straight down. Otherwise, there will be some angle distortions. For this project, I used my 90mm macro lens. However, you can use any lens from 50mm to 90mm, or even longer if you can focus that close of a distance. Set your aperture on f9 or f11, but not lower than that because it's good to have a good depth of field. You're almost ready now, so place your first film on the light and adjust your focus to have a crystal clear image of the negative on your screen. If you have some darker negatives, just adjust your shutter speed accordingly. Focus manually on the negative and leave it on manual. You will need to check your focus every couple of clicks, if not before every click. Last thing you need to do is set your trigger on a few seconds timer, or you can use a remote trigger. The reason for that is to minimize any shakes to the camera. Now you're ready to start taking photographs of your negatives. Make sure you use printing gloves to handle the negatives, and clean each negative softly with a blower. Never touch the negatives with bare hands, especially in the center surface where the photograph lives. After you take photographs of all the negatives and download the raw files, you need to open them on a software and edit them. Now, I use Adobe, so I will talk about Lightroom and Photoshop. However, the logic is the same. You need to crop each negative and make it an individual photograph. Turn the negative to positive, make basic adjustments of light, contrast, and color balance, take care of any scratches, and finally export them. After you create a new catalog, I would suggest that the first thing you do is turn the negatives to positives. It's very simple to do that. Just go on the tone curve panel and drag the left dot of the curve all the way up and the dot on the right all the way to the bottom. Normally, the one on the left will be all the way to the bottom and the one on the right all the way to the top. Now, you can crop the image and make adjustments by using basic adjustments, but also the color grading panel to bring the colors in their normal condition. Finally, take care of any scratches and other similar issues. I found that sometimes denoising is not making a lot of difference, but give it a try if you want to. You have nothing to lose, and after all, yes, it might work. Now export and you're all set. With Photoshop, I have found a couple of ways to turn negative to positive. The one way is in Camera Raw. When you open the photograph in Camera Raw, you can find the same panel I mentioned in Lightroom. However, in Camera Raw, it is named just curves. You can make the same adjustments as in the Lightroom. If you open the photograph in Photoshop, all you have to do is click Image, then Adjustments, and select Inverse. Another way is to create a curves adjustment layer and simply inverse the curve just like Lightroom and Camera Raw. Then all you have to do is crop and basic adjustments. I hope my video was helpful. Thank you for watching.